close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hello, everybody. So I am here with Jessica, and Jessica's not have her camera going because she is driving. Where are you at tonight, Jess?
Good evening, everyone. I'm on I-75, Florida-Georgia state line, headed down towards Miami.
Yeah, she's heading to Miami, and we're heading to Orlando, and we hope that we can make our destinations.
Yes.
So have you ran into any bad weather yet? Is everything pretty much gone where you're at?
Everything's gone. There's a truck rollover over by Macon. 2 trucks collided. Both of them rolled over, but they were clearing that up.
Oh,
And so it should be
geez.
cleared up by now. Yeah. It was sad passing it.
I hate hearing that crap.
Yeah, like you can totally tell one of the drivers did not make it, and it's very sad. It makes me cry every time I pass it.
I know, I'm the same way. Larry
always
says I'm too emotional, but I can't help it. Whenever I pass a truck accident and I know there's a fatality, I always get sad and start crying.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
I always kiss my mom's cross I have in my neck, kiss my rosary I have in here, and pray for the family and the driver, hoping that the driver made it.
I'm the same way. So I was going to talk about an incident, and I don't know if you've ever heard about it, Jess, but yesterday was the anniversary of it. Let's see. It was, 1970. Yesterday was the anniversary, and it was one of the most explosive truck accidents ever. Have you ever heard about that accident?
Where was it at?
Springfield, Missouri.
I have heard of that.
Yes.
They were on the freeway, correct? And it was a single
Yep.
truck accident.
Yep. I'm going to try and show you guys.
The road is still messed up to this day for it.
Yep.
I'm
going to show you guys kind of the picture. This is from CDL Life, and that's what the highway looked like. But I'm going to read you kind of what happened. It was pretty crazy. So it says September 3rd marks one of the most explosive moments in trucking history when a truck hauling tons of dynamite near Springfield, Missouri, was struck by gunfire during a Teamsters dispute, triggering a massive explosion that killed the life of the trucker. Let's see, 2 weeks prior to the incident, the Teamsters local union 823 had gone on strike against the Joplin, Missouri-based trucking company, Tri-State Motors. Tri-State Motors continued to operate in spite of the strike. When on September 30th, 48-year-old truck driver John Walt was operating a truck leased to Tri-State, hauling more than 20 tons of dynamite on I-44 to a mining area in southeastern Missouri. Shots were fired at his truck, triggering a massive explosion that shattered windows 12 miles away in Springfield, Missouri, and a crater that was 50 feet wide and 30 feet deep was left on the I-44. So I'm going to show you guys one more picture. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oops, if I don't throw my iPad. But yeah, it left a gigantic crater in the middle of the highway. So, could you even imagine witnessing something like that? That would just be crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if they have a sign up or not, but I know exactly what you're talking about because the freeway's never been the same. Like, they've never been able to repair it completely to this day.
Yeah, it was a massive hole. Luckily, the only person that died was the actual truck driver who was driving the dynamite. Nobody else was affected in that accident. Had it happened in today, being on I-44, how crowded I-44 is, no matter whether it's night or daytime, guaranteed there would have been more fatalities.
Yep.
Ugh. So tonight, Jess and I are going to be talking a little bit about what a DAC report is. It's really important for truck drivers. How you can access your DAC report, and how to leave a trucking company properly. But we thought we'd talk about a little bit of news that was going on. So one more article that I had from this week was, and this was yesterday, and I'm getting this from cdllife.com, but it said driver arrested after hitting fellow driver and driving away. So this is a crazy story.
I heard about that. That just happened.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, the 29th, 2 days ago. So the incident happened about 3 p.m. in Oklahoma. It says, according to the news, a trucker was parked on the shoulder of the turnpike. He was outside of his truck when he was struck by another tractor trailer. The trucker was killed in the incident, but the driver kept on driving for another 64 miles until the police caught up with him. Because you even it makes me wonder: did he not know that he hit that trucker, like he wasn't paying attention, or do you think he was like eluding police?
I don't know. I mean, there is a move over law for a reason. When you see a truck or a car or a police officer, emergency vehicles, whatever, on the side of the road, you got to move over because that could happen. I've heard of another case like that. We there was a case I heard of where the guy was actually underneath his truck working on like an airbag or something, and his legs were sticking out barely on the white line, and the guy crossed over the white line just a little bit and ran over his legs and took his legs off the dot. The guy passed away because of it. So, I mean, it really depends on the circumstances. Maybe the guy was under a truck working on him and his feet were sticking out. You never know exactly what could have happened, but there's a move over law for a reason, and most states have them. It don't matter if it's an emergency vehicle, another truck, a car, anything.
I think that bugs me the absolute most when you have the move over law and you see so many cars and vehicles that don't move over for people who are on the shoulder of the road, whether it be an emergency worker, whether it be another trucker, whatever the reason being. It drives me absolutely bonkers when you see people not moving over.
It does. And unfortunately, a lot of people are stopping more and more for some reason on the side of the road to use the bathroom really quick or get something out of their back seat or whatever. It's like that can wait a couple miles. I'm sorry. And so they're making it more dangerous. And then you have your left hand blinker on if you're in the right hand lane to move on over, and nobody will let you over. But the problem is people are not slowing down. Like if there's a car, officer, truck, etc., on the side of the road on the right hand shoulder, if I cannot get over safely into like that center lane or the left hand lane, I slow down tremendously.
I do too.
Because sometimes you just can't get over, but you need to slow down. It says move over or slow down.
Yep. MJ Richardson said, how do you not know that you hit someone? That was kind of my philosophy too, but you did have a good point, Jess. If he was underneath his truck and maybe, his legs were hanging out and he got dragged underneath the truck. But yeah, you would think that if you hit somebody, you would definitely know it. And for him to go 64 miles and then they pulled him over. And they didn't really say in the article, like if he was eluding police or if he didn't even know if he hit the person. So we're just kind of left wondering like, I don't know. Hey, Cassandra Cook.
And unfortunately, I hate to say it, with a vehicle this size and the weight that we carry, I mean, it's very upsetting, but running over an animal or a person, or could feel like a pothole in the road too if you hit them with your trailer tires.
Absolutely.
So you might not
Absolutely.
know. You might just think it was a pothole that you hit, and or a recap or a road debris or a branch or whatever it may be.
And I'm not sure who this person is. I'm thinking it might be Dutch, but let me know if I'm right or wrong. But the comment is it's a following distance problem. If they were leaving proper space between there would have been adequate room to move over. Zipper, merge, stop without mass collisions. And that's really true. That's the other thing that bothers me. When you're getting into a road construction area and it clearly says zipper and merge, it never friggin' happens. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I hate it. We get cut off right and left.
Yep. I got cut off
And
today
MJ
really
Richardson,
bad. A lady almost hit my truck cutting me off because she's coming out of a shopping plaza. She wanted to go into the center lane and then do a
yep.
U-turn, and there was cops on the other side of the road dealing with the incident, and they actually went after her because I blew my horn and they saw what happened, and they went after her for doing that to me.
And thank God you blew your horn because they probably never would have saw what she did had you not
Yeah.
alerted the authorities and they could see what happened. I was on the phone with Jess right after that happened, so yeah.
Yeah.
I did also want to mention if you guys go to our Married to the Road page, at the very top of our page, you'll see a little picture of a cat from the Catskill right there. And we were featured as Catskill's Big Rig of the Week. And they did a little interview with Larry and I and did a little video of us. So you guys can go and watch that video and see us and our truck being featured on the Catskill's Big Rig of the Week. So
That is so
that was
awesome.
pretty fun.
You and Larry are definitely doing great things.
Aw, thank you. And hey, you did a great thing today. What did you do? You treated a trucker today.
I traded a trucker, a Tyson driver. I met over at Americold in Rockmart, Georgia. He started off talking to me about the dogs, and then I ended up walking up to him. He was trying to talk to me while I was trying to back in the dock because we were like window to window.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to talk to them about the dogs. I just let me finish talking, and I walked over to him. I said, "Hey, my name's Jessica. I'm with Treat a Trucker." I pulled the Facebook group, showed it to him. He's like, "Oh, I guess he ended up liking the Facebook group and your guys' page, Married to the Road."
Very cool.
So I treated a trucker today.
I love treating truckers. I don't. Okay.
It is awesome.
Can I just
Except
say
for when
real
they close
quick?
their windows in your face or tell you to go away.
Yes.
Yeah,
I just want to say real quick. I don't know who the lady who was that just waved to me, but there was a lady walking in the rest area, her and her husband and her 3 doggies, and she was just like wildly waving at me like she recognized me. So, hello. I don't know who you are. I apologize. I'm doing the show, so I can't come out and talk to you right now. But hi, I saw you. So I'm so sorry. She was like wildly like trying to get my attention. I'm like, I can't come out right now. Sorry. I hate that. I never know what to do, Jess. We've talked about this on the phone. When people recognize me, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't think I'm anybody special. Oh.
You're special
Okay.
to all of us.
I'm
We all love you.
just special to you. All right. So
And Pudge.
and Jess
And
may
Pudge,
lose
Pudge.
signal. and Pudge, yes. Hey Dawn, how are you, sweetheart? Oh, Dawn. Okay, now that you're here, hold on, Dawn. I'm gonna show you. Ugh. Okay, first of all, I'm in the driver's seat, as you guys can tell. Well, Jess can't tell because she's driving. But look, Dawn,
No.
I fixed the ribbon. Well, okay, it was fixed, see? So Dawn made these for Larry and I. It's been a year ago. We met Dawn in Phoenix at a truck stop, and she made us muffins and gave the dogs dog treats, and she made these. And they have been in every truck we've had since then. They are right up above us where we drive. I have Larry's on his side and mine on my side. And so they go everywhere with us. I love them. And then today, you didn't get to see this, Jess, because I haven't shown you. But I went to the Loves today, and I found a sign, and it's my favorite color, teal. And it says, "This is our happy place." I bought it for our truck. And so I got it right up above where Larry and I drive.
That's gonna be cute.
So
So if you guys hear
I
me
know I had
randomly
to.
yell when I'm hauling, I'm about to go into the algoculture station right now. And if you guys don't know what the algoculture station is, they have it in Florida and California, and I believe one other state. They ask you what you're hauling. They're checking to see if you have produce. It's mostly a produce check, and it's also a fuel check. Make sure you ain't using red diesel fuel in your truck. So I'm
Yeah.
entering into there right now. I thought they were closed, but the
Okay.
scale
Yeah.
house is open, and so is this. So those are open, uh, Angie and Larry.
Great. Yeah, we're
Scales are
heading your
open
way.
and ag is open.
We thought everything was closed down because of everything that was
I
going on,
heard
but I
that
guess
they
not.
were, but now they're back open, I guess.
Ugh.
Oh
And
my
for
God,
those of
it's
you
funny.
guys don't know,
Remember when, really quick,
go ahead.
remember when COVID hit? In Florida,
Yes.
they bypassed all the trucks for the waste, not the waste station, the agriculture station, and they were screening
Yep.
people that were coming into Florida to see if they had an out of state driver's license or not. If you had an out of state driver's license, you couldn't come in when COVID first happened. Remember that?
Yep. Yep. I sure
That was
do.
crazy.
And when you get into Florida, there's two stations. The first one's the waste, or no, the first one's the agriculture station, and then the second one's the waste station. So sometimes you get pulled into both of them. It sucks.
Well, I-75, it's a scale house and then an agriculture. And then
Yep.
on 95, it's the agriculture and then the waste station, I believe.
Yep. I used to love it when I was driving a trailer that said FedEx because 99.9% of the time we got to bypass them. But now that my trailer doesn't say FedEx, I get pulled in all the time. I hate it.
I don't get to bypass because I haul a reefer. And I always have food.
Yes. Yep. They know. They're like, you
They're
got
gonna ask me
food.
what I have, I think.
Oh, no.
Watch Azula bark. They get in his baby.
Sheila and Michael Grady said they are heading to Florida
Thank
too.
you.
Be careful.
He waved me on.
Yay. Hey, Jessica, Jess Orton said, Hurricane Bunny question mark. Is that like a sexy Playboy bunny? How did you get your name,
No.
Jessica?
Chris actually named me Hurricane Bunny because the guy who showed me how to drive always called me Bunny. I was like a little white fluffy rabbit, got all excited, bounced around as soon as I got out of the truck. Called me Hurricane Bunny because back in my last company, a bunch of people wanted to be with me and they couldn't be with me, and I ruined their life by not being with them. And so he decided on destroyer of men and dogs. Like supposedly I made Ruckus a softie, you know. So
She's even got
Hurricane
on her
Bunny.
truck. Yep. On her truck right next to her driver's side window, it says Hurricane Bunny 1.
Yeah, it says Hurricane Bunny. My TikTok account is Hurricane Bunny 1, and then on my right thigh it says Hurricane Bunny with a bunny with a hurricane, and on my left thigh there's a paw print that says tank.
Yep. So we were
Hurricane
talking
Bunny's
a
all
little
over the
bit.
place.
Yeah. I like, especially right now, it's kind of fitting. You're in Florida and your name's Hurricane Bunny, so it's kind of sitting. Okay.
And I'm doing
Just
frozen food, replenishing the stock.
yeah, she's taking supplies down to Miami. Jess said, "I've been destroyed by a man or two." LOL. Oh. Okay, that's funny. I was on Jess's show earlier this afternoon. Oh my God, by the time I got done on that show, because the topic was sex in the industry, my face was hurting so bad. I was laughing so hard. Oh my gosh, it was bad.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. You were supposed to call me, let me know how it went. I think Chris is
I
actually
know.
watching tonight too. He might be. I'm not sure. I think he's driving, but I don't know if he's listening in or if he's watching or if he parked or what. Hi, Chris. And Pudge.
I actually.
Chris has Pudge. I got the
where...
twins.
Oh yeah, she's got Ruckus and she's got her two dogs with her.
Azula
but
and
I
Ruckus
don't know.
twins.
Yes, I don't know where. If somebody's asking me where I'm at tonight, the Trucker's View. I'm not sure who that is. But I'm not really sure. I know I'm somewhere in Texas. If anybody's familiar with driving on the 10 in Texas, you're like on the 10 forever. Like, not joking. It takes 2 shifts to get through Texas. So I am somewhere in Texas on the 10, and I'm not really sure where. but we'll be in Florida tomorrow. I do know that. So anyway, we were talking a little bit about the DAC report. And so, first of all, for those of you guys who may or may not know what the DAC report is, a DAC report affects truck drivers. It's solely for truck drivers. And pretty much what it is, it's kind of like a credit score against us truckers. So we're kind of going to go over, first of all, what is included on the DAC report. And then we'll talk more about like how you can get a copy of the DAC report and stuff like that. So
I like to call it a report card.
Exactly, that's what it is.
You forever
And ever and ever in a day. Seriously. So 90%. Yes. So 90% of all trucking companies will refer to a DAC report when you're filling out an application to switch jobs or go to a new company. First thing they do is go to a DAC report. Well, first thing they do is they pull your driving record. Second thing they do is go to your DAC report. So as a truck driver, you are entitled to one free copy of your DAC report a year. You can go to HireRight.com. HireRight is the private company that actually takes all that information, compiles all the information, and gives the information to the trucking companies who are seeking it. So if you would like a free copy, you can go to HireRight.com and fill out the information there on their website, or call the number to get a copy of your DAC report. You are entitled to one free DAC report a year, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get it, because you as a truck driver need to make sure that the information on that DAC report is accurate. And we're going to get into why in just a little bit. Okay, so if you have a problem when you
really quick, there's a car on the shoulder, and I saw them with their four-ways on, so I moved over to the center lane. There was two people standing outside changing a tire. I never saw those two people. They don't have any reflective clothing on, no flares, no nothing. I did not see those people until I was already in the center lane and going past them.
See, that's exactly what I mean. You just don't know.
Sorry. I did see the car with the four-ways on, though, but I did not see the people until I was already right up on top of them, which I wasn't right up on top of them. I was in the center lane. But you don't know who's standing outside those vehicles. That's why moving over and slowing down is very, very, very important. No matter if it's a car, truck. I don't even care if the car has the orange stickers on it that say it's been on the freeway for a while. You don't know when someone's over there working on it, trying to get their car repaired to get it off the freeway. I don't care if
is so true.
If it has the stickers on there. They could be working on it.
Yep. So Jess Orton said, I just wish that my credit was as good as my DAC report. Me too.
Me
I'm
too.
with you on that one, Jess.
Me too. Ooh, this guy's swaying.
So if you get your copy of your DAC report and you find something on there that is inaccurate or incorrect,
hold on.
It is under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. At HireRight.com, you can report disputes. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about
someone hauling a camper that's going way too fast, and he was swerving, and then he came into my lane.
Oh, I hate it when they can't control the damn camper.
Oh, they're so dangerous. I'm sorry. I have to apologize, guys. I am driving, and people are returning home, going back to their homes from the hurricane and everything. I'll be off 75 in a little bit, so I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. But you guys get to hear my commentary tonight firsthand.
Well, it is good because you'll let me know how the roads are since I'm heading that way. So
yeah.
Okay, so some of the things that will be on your DAC report when you get a copy of it. First and foremost, your name, address, social security name, and the address and work history of each trucking company that you've worked with. It's also good to have your license information, including what state your CDL is out of. If you've had CDLs in other states, what endorsements or any restrictions that you do have on your CDL license. It's going to have your on-the-job performance at each of the places that you worked for. So each of the places that you worked for, your employer or prior employer is allowed to address any work-related issues, like say you quit during the training process, or you refused to do such and such, or maybe you were not prompt, or you weren't available to take loads. So they are allowed to report that stuff.
or if you abandon
Also,
a truck, or if you were disrespectful towards dispatch, if you were, they could
yes.
report a lot of stuff on there that you don't think that they can. You drop your earbud?
Yes. How did you know?
Because I heard it moving in your
Can you?
hand.
Okay, that's funny.
I can hear
That's
you.
funny. It's like I'm like you can't see me, but you heard that. That's funny.
No, yep.
Oh, I swear to God, I have tiny little ear holes, and the earbuds just don't stay in. Is that a problem?
I
Tiny little
can't
ear
I
holes.
can't wear them because I have a tube in my right ear and it's been in there for about 8 years now. And it actually helps
Oh,
my speech and my speech problem and my hearing problem, and it helps me not get an infection in my ear. So they're never going to take it out. It
uh,
just lives in there forever now.
that makes sense. Okay, so the other thing it's going to have on your DAC report is what type of freight that you've hauled at each of your jobs, and then whether or not you're
Hmm.
eligible to be rehired at that particular company. So, like for example, I just left FedEx Custom Critical. I left there, giving them plenty of notice, and I left good. So on my DAC report, it should say that I'm eligible for rehire. So we'll have letting the other companies know whether or not that company would rehire you again in the future. Um, and then also your criminal history. If you've had any criminal history, that's going to show on there as well. If you find something on your DAC report that is inaccurate or maybe not true, or you just don't agree with something on your DAC report, you do have the right to file what is called a so, higher, hold on, higher right has to do an investigation on your DAC report if you have inaccuracies, or if you think that maybe a trucking company is trying to retaliate by putting something in your DAC report that is untrue or inaccurate. They have 30 days for an investigation. You after would be necessary to file, and they have to do that in 3 days. The and you can either fill out the form that's there or call them on the phone in order to file your dispute report. Um, and the problem about the report is that it is privatecare.com. It's not, in words, there's a police on private company that handle that. Actually, smaller companies can make false or misleading reports about you that go onto your DAC report. Inaccurate. Jess, are you able to hear me? I do not know if anybody can hear me or not. Sorry, guys. I am having technical issues tonight. It never fails. It's part of the life of trucking. Okay, thank you. I apologize. So I think we lost Jess. Okay. Oh well. I have like 2 different Wi-Fi's in my truck, and I have to like bounce off both of them. And it's just,
Okay, maybe I'm back.
you're back. Can you hear
Maybe.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. It keeps switching between my 2 Wi-Fi's. I'm trying to figure out. I got like 2 Wi-Fi's going on here. Can you hear me, Ernest?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, it never fails every time we try. Okay, sorry. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Maybe we just have to cut the show because I think I'm having a hard time. Jeff is having a hard time hearing me.
Yeah, I think that happens every time we use this platform.
I know. And recently we have the same issue too. So I don't know. Maybe we just are not destined to have a show.
Yeah.
Oh.
My
Oh well. So
booty's
anyway,
on
I'll
fire.
put all the information. Why
The
is your
dogs
booty on fire?
The dogs hit the seat heater again. The
Oh my
heated
god, that
seats in
happened
my
to me the
truck.
other night. Yes,
Yeah, they hit the button.
and you didn't know they hit it. You didn't know they
No,
hit it.
you don't know
start
until your
sweating out
booty's
there.
on fire.
Yep. That happened to
Just
me
like
the
we
other
did
night.
to
I
Larry
thought
that
I
one
turned
night.
the air conditioning. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he was sitting in your seat
Yeah, and I just reached
on
over and
your
hit the
truck.
button, and Larry
Yeah.
had no clue. That's great.
Yep. His butt was on fire. That was so funny.
Hmm.
That was so funny. You keep threatening you're gonna kick him out of my truck so that you can move in.
Yep. He can move into here. He said he likes my cameras with the table and everything. And Pudge.
You do. You have a very nice truck.
They do have really nice equipment
I
over here
don't
where I
know.
work.
They do. They really do. But it'd be interesting to see him and Pudge trying to spoon on your bed. I don't even know if there'd be enough room.
Pudge actually doesn't take up that much room. He takes up the least room out of the 4 of them. He likes to get underneath the blankets and lay
Nope.
behind like your knees.
That's what Gizmo likes
Oh,
to do too. He likes to be underneath the blankets on your butt or your knee.
yes.
Oh my gosh. So how many more hours you got tonight?
Probably about another hour and a half. I'm going right from Mike's house to park for my 10 because it's late. There's not going to be any parking. And I'm actually taking a different route than what I would normally take due to people going home from the hurricane and the damage. I'm taking 75 to I-10 and 95 to get to Miami. Normally I would take 75 down to the turnpike cut over that way. But I did get approval from dispatch before I did this, which is very
That's
important
good.
to
I
do,
heard there's
especially when you're a company driver. You always want to get approval when you're going out a route because this adds about 20 extra miles. But they understand why I'm doing it, and I did ask permission before I just went ahead and chose to do it.
yeah. You know, I did want to show some pictures. Let me see if I can bring them up here real quick. Okay, so these are some pictures that we're going to share with you guys. I'm not going to say how I got them. Let's just say these are some pictures of some trucks and the condition that they were left in when the company driver decided that he was leaving. So, like, for example, this mattress is covered in urine and blood. This is a picture of all the dirt and debris on the carpet and the mattress inside the truck. This one's showing all the trash that was left inside of the truck. Same thing with this one. It's all the trash and dirt on the dashboard. This one, this is a Kenworth
That one's a
seat.
separate
You can
truck,
see.
yeah. That one's a different truck.
Yeah, that
That
one's
one,
like
a
got
cat
cat
had
claw
scratched
marks
the
on it.
seat. Yep.
Yep. And that one you can see the rug's all filthy, so is the seat. And this one's
That's not a
probably the
rug. That's
grossest photo of
actually,
all.
that was actually a rubber floor, like what I have in my truck.
Oh,
Those were
it looked
sent to
that
me
bad, and
by
it's a rubber
somebody else.
floor.
Oh yeah, that's a rubber floor, and now it's cat litter, cat urine, and dog urine on the floor. And those were sent to me through a friend.
Yeah, and this is a driver's seat that you're seeing right here. And that's, I don't even know if I want to say, but let's just say it's biohazard.
They had to remove that seat, and they had to biohazard it. They couldn't just throw it in a dumpster. That seat became biohazard, and they had to dispose of it properly.
Oh, so gross. And unfortunately, a lot of company owners go through that when a trucker gets mad and he or she decides that they're going to leave the company. Oftentimes, the way that they leave the truck, the company has to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to try to get that truck cleaned up to the position that another truck driver could take it over and be able to drive it. And
Yes.
you were talking about, you know, I couldn't even imagine having to drive a truck in that condition to go get it detailed. Ugh.
And one other thing I want to bring up while we're talking about cleanliness of trucks, be kind to your mechanics. If you know that your truck is going into a shop and they need to get in it, even to move it, blow your truck out, wipe down the door panel, wipe down your seat, wipe down your steering wheel, your dashboard, etc. You know, vacuum if you have to, pick up the trash off the floor, take your garbage out. Be kind to your mechanics too, because I was just in Carrier and I had the dog in the truck with me. They knew I made him sit in here. The guy was inside my truck with me and breakfast, and he said one of his said, "She really appreciate you clean your truck and take out your trash for you get here. It means a lot to us. Thank you." Because he had to literally kneel on my he wasn't kneeling in dog hair, dog water bowl, you know, or garbage, anything.
I'm the
So
same
it's
way. If
not,
I know,
you know, cleanliness out here is important. We got to take care of it. First thing in any shop, you never know when DOT is going to get into your truck because they do have the right to search your cabin in special circumstances. You never know when you're going to get your mechanic's got to move your truck or another driver's got to move your truck. You never know who's going to get into that truck. You need to be prepared and have it safe. We live in here. We sleep in here. We eat in here. This is our home.
absolutely, absolutely, and
And
you
if
are
you
so
keep
right.
up
I
on
mean,
it, if you keep up on it, like take one day out of the week, you know. Or if you can't do it all at one time, like one day I'll clean my windows, the next day I'll wipe down both my door panels, the next day I'll wipe down my dashboard, and then one day I'll blow out the truck. I take my garbage out every day. So even if you do it by little every day, it's never gonna get that bad as long as you're keeping up on it.
yep. I tend to do a lot of my cleaning like when I am either getting loaded or getting unloaded. When you have all that time that you're waiting,
Hmm.
that's when I tend to do my cleaning because I'm like, what else am I gonna do? I don't want to get tired sitting here waiting. So that's usually what I do. You know, especially if I know it's gonna be a long wait, I'll sit there and just clean my truck. It keeps me awake, keeps me alert, and then I'm out doing something.
Yeah.
So do you have a trick, Miss Jessica, for pet fur?
Um, I have my blower, and then I have a leaf blower, and then my Scentsy counter clean also helps. And then they do sell certain brushes, but I
Yep.
actually have seat covers on my seats, even though I have leather seats in here. Because I have dogs, I still keep seat covers on both my seats because you never know if the next driver is going to be allergic to an animal. I do not close my curtains in here. I have another way that I close the front window because I don't want to open them because I don't want all that dog fur getting stuck in the curtains. But leaf blower,
Yeah.
regular blower, vacuum cleaner. I got this vacuum cleaner from Aldi's, and I wish I would have got Angie one when I got me one because that's the best vacuum cleaner I've ever had, especially for the dog fur.
I know. I need a new vacuum cleaner. The one that I got was a little Bissell. I think it's called a Bissell stick vacuum, and it was supposed to be awesome for pet fur. Liar, it's not. So it's like I'll
Yeah.
use it, and then I wind up going back and using like a lint roller. And now, luckily, I don't have a whole lot of carpet. I've only got carpet up by the driver and passenger seat.
Mhm.
Everything else is hardwood flooring, so I can sweep that. But it's like this little bit up here. I just learned that the dogs can't be up here. Otherwise, I'm constantly lint rolling the carpet.
Walmart sells
Oh my
sticky
gosh.
floor mats, and you saw them while you're in my truck. They're about 22 or $25 for a 2-pack, and you cut them to size. They're dicky
Yes.
floor mats, and you cut them to size. When you get into your truck, because of how they're grooved, they actually collect like 90% of dirt off your shoes.
I didn't know you cut them to size. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you cut them to size. That's why they fit in here. There's pieces that you can cut, so you cut them to actually fit your truck. And they're dicky
Okay,
floor
that's
mats.
cool
They
as
come from
shit.
Walmart. They're in the automotive section, and you cut them to fit.
Well, I loved your floor mats. Oh my gosh, that was like the first thing I noticed when I got in your truck.
They honestly collect like 90% of the dirt. Like I go into a lot of dirt gravel lots, especially our yard, and then where I park at my friend's house, it's dirt, sand. It collects almost
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like if you saw my floor and my truck hadn't been cleaned at that point, because normally when I go home, I pay a lady $40. She cleans my truck for me. My truck hadn't been cleaned at that point. It wasn't bad at all, and I was in a dirt lot, and you saw that, and I was there for a couple
Right.
days, and it wasn't bad.
No, no, not at all. I did also want to mention, so we were talking, the whole reason we brought up our DAC report, and I don't want to go too much into detail, but we did have a friend who left a company recently, and it didn't go so well when he left the company. And the whole reason we kind of brought up the DAC report was because supposedly, and the reason I say supposedly is because we weren't there. It's a conversation between him and somebody else. But supposedly, this particular company had threatened to put some false information on his DAC report. So that made Jessica and I get to thinking. It's like, well, we really need to educate ourselves on the DAC report and know exactly what's on the DAC report, what you can do if your company does want to retaliate and put false information. So that's the reason that we decided to do this. But I did want to mention next week we have a special guest with us that I'm so excited about. It's
Me
actually
too.
a guest that Jessica found, and her name's Ruby. And Jess, you want to tell a little bit about Ruby that's going to be on the show next week?
Ruby is a single mother. The father is involved, and she is actually Ruby is an over-the-road driver. She might be more southeast regional, but she goes like where I go. But she's an OTR driver. Ruby has had successful weight loss out here on the road,
Yes.
and she's a great person, great personality, fun. She's bigger on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
bigger than me. But
Bigger
she's
than
fun,
me.
happy, positive. And
And she's
Angie,
got a teenage
Ruby,
son that rides with her.
yes, that is correct. And she homeschools him in the truck. And she cooks almost all their food in the truck, too.
Oh, I didn't know
So she's a
that.
mother, she's teaching him, and she cooks in her truck almost all the meals.
Okay, she needs to give us some recipes. I'm always looking for
I know,
recipe
right? Like
ideas.
the food she makes
Yes.
looks amazing.
Oh,
And
so yeah, so
next week we're going to be talking about weight loss. Angie, Ruby, and myself have all lost weight, and we're all on a circle battle too. And next week we're going to be talking about that, healthy tips out here on the road, the difference in how all three of us lost our weight. Because not everyone can lose weight the same. Something might work for me that might not work for Angie. Something that works for Angie might not work for Ruby. So we're going to all share our stories
yes.
about our weight loss journey out here as OTR drivers.
And how it's a constant struggle.
Yes. Oh
And
yeah,
then,
that
yeah,
a frappuccino thing, and I'm like, I really shouldn't be drinking this, but okay.
right. And then the week after that, we I believe are going to have an interview with a DOT medical examiner, and so she's going to be talking to us a little bit about what exactly a DOT physical entails, what all she exactly does, and then the week after that, So we're booked out like about 3 weeks at this point. We're going to have Miss Mona Beadle on. She's one of our moderators here at Trucking Safety Divas, but she is also part of the Trucking Angels for Christ. And so she's going to be on here talking all about her ministry and trucking and how long she's been in trucking. So it should be really, really interesting. So, and starting next week, I didn't get a chance to do it this week, but we are going to be doing little segments at the end of each show talking about breast cancer awareness because it is October. And I didn't get a chance to do a little commercial, but I did want to say, you know, Jess and I want to make it really clear that it's super important for you guys, both men and women, to perform, you know, your breast self-exams and to make sure you get in for your yearly mammogram. You know, it's just as important for men as it is for women to help prevent breast cancer.
I actually have a
And Jess,
fellow driver who works over at the same company to me, Mike Buswell. He's actually going to be joining us on his time. He is going through treatment right now. He had a little lump, didn't think nothing of it, ignored it. Was laying with the sheet over him. He was in excruciating pain. Went to the doctor, found out he had male breast cancer. So he is going through treatment. So we don't have a date of when he's going to be when he's feeling good. Plus, he did
Yeah, we will definitely have him on the show sometime during the month, but we're going to totally play it around his schedule because right now he's right in the middle of treatment, and it all depends on how he feels because we obviously don't want him to feel tired or sick or anything like that. Diane Yosak said, I wish I could lose the 25 pounds that I've gained. I'm with you, Diane. I've gained about 50 pounds since I started trucking, and I would love to lose that. For sure, for sure. My biggest thing, my biggest weakness is I need to stop drinking soda completely and go to just water. That's my crutch.
Oh no, they have a soda called Zevia, Zevia or something like that. Zevia, 0 calorie. They're clear. You get them from like Whole Foods or health food stores, and they're zero everything, and they're a soda. You got to look for those. Walmart does sell some. Yeah. Okay. You never heard of those?
No.
I'll look them up for you later.
I need to.
And that way I can screenshot it. Amazon has them too. They're about $1 a can, but they're 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 dyes, and they taste just like the real thing. And they don't give you any of the migraines like the fake sugars have that give you a migraine. Those do not.
Yes. That's my biggest issue. If I don't have caffeine, my migraines get worse. So it's like a vicious circle. Ugh.
Yeah.
When I was still driving, I stopped soda. That was the only change. And within 2 weeks, I was down 15 pounds. I believe it. I know that every time I stop drinking soda, I feel better. It's like the first week, I feel like crap. But then after that, I feel better. So I definitely got to go back to just strictly water and coffee. Because I usually drink 1 cup of coffee and then, that's it for the day. And Jess's weakness
with the Circle bottle, they have a lemon lime one. Yes, definitely. Circle has a lemon lime one that kind of tastes like a Sprite, but without the carbonation. And it has caffeine in it. Yeah. That one's really good.
Yeah.
Remember, I made you that cheat sheet before.
Yeah, I tried the coffee ones, and those were not my favorites.
Oh, I told you not to.
I know. I tried the mocha and the caramel,
and
I didn't like either one.
No, they're horrible.
It was terrible. Yeah. I was like, oh, that'd be awesome if it tastes like a nice coffee. No, it didn't.
You could borrow Azula. Azula makes you walk like 4 or 5 blocks a day. So you could borrow Azula. She's my new walking partner.
Nova's my walking partner. She loves walking, and she's really good on the leash. She'll stay right next to me, which is nice. We're like Gizmo, he pulls.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. This happened after I talked to you on the phone. I stopped at a rest area earlier to do the show with Jess, and I was walking Nova, and this Mexican family was in the rest area, and they were so cute. They were like on one section, I was on the other section because I didn't want Nova to bother them. And next thing I know, they start coming over, and the guy's like, "Is it okay if I touch your dog?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I said, "But she's a jumper. She's still learning." And he's like, "Oh, no problem." So he gets down there and Nova's like all over him, looking all over him. And so he's telling his kids, this is Nova, because he asked what her name was. And so the little boy and the little girl like, hola Nova, hola Nova. And they were just
Aw.
loving all over her. It was so cute.
Pudge is a jumper. Pudge jumped on Angie and he broke her bracelet, so he had to order her new ones. He felt like he didn't have to, but he
Yes.
wanted to. So he got her some sea turtle bracelets, which was really nice of Pudge.
I'm showing everybody my bracelets right now.
Yeah.
I'm wearing them. That was so funny. Yeah, I had some beads on my hands just like this, and Pudge jumped up to give me a hug, and my bracelets just went in a million pieces everywhere. It was cute, but
And
it happens.
Pudge has came a long way in the time I've had him. He is my rescue. He was the beauty for me. So I'm sorry if anyone disagrees, but I'd rather have him jump at someone and be happy than bite somebody because that dog went through a lot of stuff before I got him.
Yeah, and he's so sweet, and he's so
He is,
pretty.
and has no clue. He's 100 pounds.
No,
Larry left the door open on the Volvo and didn't even think, and Pudge just jumped right in there.
I still to this day it baffles my mind. Pudge is a little over 100 pounds, big boy. He's a
Yeah.
big boy, and he jumped in my truck like it was nothing. I was like, holy crap!
He was ready to go sleep in your bed. He was aiming for your bed. Every time he gets someone else's truck, he goes in their bed.
Yep.
He's all about his
Oh,
comfort.
yes, yes, yes,
He
yes.
doesn't like being outside. I'll give you guys a brief history on Pudge. Pudge was found as a stray in Duluth, Minnesota. When he was probably about 2.5, and then he stayed in the shelter from October to January, the end of January. In that time, someone had adopted him, returned him like the next day, and then my ex-boyfriend had him from the end of January to March 22nd when my dog Tank unfortunately passed away of a brain tumor. Well, that day, my ex-boyfriend put all Pudge's stuff in my truck. The next day, he put Pudge in there and took off because he said he was too big to be in the truck. So, and I know my ex-boyfriend wasn't always the nicest to him, and I know just by the way he acts, whoever had him before he was a stray wasn't always the nicest to him. So Pudge has been through
Yeah.
some stuff, but I love him, and he's the best dog ever,
I
and
love
he's
the
my
fact that he's
rescue.
so yeah, I love the fact that he's so big because it's like with you being a solo female driver, nobody's gonna mess with you seeing that dog.
He is very protective of me in the truck. If I bring him out and I see someone I know, I gotta introduce him as a friend. Pudge, it's a friend. It's okay. Pudge, it's a friend. It's okay. And then he's okay with you. But if I don't give him that permission,
Yes.
he's still gonna be in protection mode.
Yep. I did also want to make an announcement before I forget. I know a lot of our viewers know who Mike Mulder is. So for those of you guys who may not know, we have made Mike Mulder a moderator on the Trucker's View. So if you guys see him in your chats or whatever, he'll probably come up as the Trucker's View. But Mike is going to be our moderator so that just to make sure like we don't have any spammers coming in and making rude comments or something like that. So Mike will be able to deal with that because we're on the road driving, and so Big Mike's going to help us out. So I just want to say thank you to Big
Thank you,
Mike for
Mike.
that. So
We
I'm sure I'm
appreciate
going
it.
to owe him a pizza or two.
I was gonna say, I was thinking the other day I should order him a pizza. I should reach out to him. As I was
I
eating
know.
Pizza Hut pizza, I thought about it.
Y'all, I got his address saved in my Pizza Hut app. It makes it
That's funny.
easy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I
Oh, we
still
never
cannot get
talked
rid of
about how
this
to leave
headache.
a company properly.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, yeah. So,
Okay,
what
so
advice do you have, Jess?
no matter what your next company says, let's say you got hired onto another company, you're waiting to go into orientation. If they tell you to abandon that truck, do not abandon a truck any under any circumstances whatsoever. Orientation could always get pushed back a week or two. Do not abandon a truck. That goes on your DAC report, and that follows you everywhere. And then all you're doing is hurting yourself. And then
Yes.
whenever you go to leave, blow out the truck, sweep it out, wipe down the windows, do the dashboard really quick, make it look presentable. Normally companies do have someone that goes in there and detail it, but that does not mean you leave your garbage in there. You don't leave your cigarette butts in there. You return the truck the same way as you got it, or better. So always return the truck to a approved location.
Yeah,
One of the drop yards, one of the terminals, etc. Your guys' dispatchers companies can tell you which is the approved location. And do not listen to a company when they say just leave a truck at a certain, just leave it. It's
absolutely.
okay. You have a job here. Do not do that because you don't know how the other job's going to turn out, and you don't want to burn a bridge with the other company either because you never know when you're going to need that company again, or they might call you and offer you your job back and you take it because you miss them. So do not burn your bridge. Always return the truck and
Yeah,
return it clean as you can get it.
yeah. I mean, maybe you don't go to that new job and maybe new job and everything is correct, or maybe you're telling the truth and you get a job you don't like to go back to your other job, but either the doctor, the travel a bunch of money to get it up the car, other job to get into it. Well, now you've burned your bridge, and it can go on
Angie,
your
I don't know if
back
you're
and
breaking up.
from company to company. So it's not worth it.
Angie, I don't know if you were just breaking up or
It's
if it was on
probably
my
me.
end. Okay. It was all wonky. You sounded like that teacher from what is that show? Charlie Brown.
Yes, yes. It's probably me. I've been having signal issues all night.
Okay. So you
I'm in
might
a
want to
very
repeat what
remote
okay,
rest
now you're
area.
better. You might want to repeat everything you just said.
Okay, so what I was saying is when you decide you're going to leave a company, make sure, like Jess said, that you leave the truck in good working order, work it can go on DAC report. It's something that the company puts on your DAC report, and then other possible employers are going to see that. The other thing is, if you leave that company, you go to the company, and maybe everything doesn't turn out the way you hoped. Maybe the recruiter wasn't completely upfront and honest with you. Well, then you're going to burn the bridge to go back to the company you were just at if you leave the truck in bad condition or if you abandon the truck. Last thing, all companies, no matter what size they are going to tell you orientation starts on Monday. You have to be there on Monday. 9 times out of 10, orientation starts every Monday. So if you have to
Hmm.
postpone a week, it's usually okay. Those are tactics that recruiters use to try to get you to abandon your truck, abandon your job so that you can make orientation. You can always push orientation out another week or another 2 weeks to do the right thing by the company that you're currently working with. So don't fall for the tactics that recruiters use. We know what the tactics are. Every company uses them. So just don't fall for it.
And I want to bring up a thing that a lot of drivers are not known about. More and more companies are getting into hair follicle tests, and this could go ahead and be on that show when we have the DOT lady on there, the one that you were talking about.
Yep.
More and more companies are turning to hair drug
Mm-hmm.
tests. A lot of stuff stays in your hair a lot longer than your urine. So you can't go home, let's say on New Year's Eve,
Yes.
and go party and go do whatever you're going to do. You cannot be drinking on your 10-hour
Yeah.
break
I
because by
tell
the
you what,
time, go ahead.
I was going to say that's one that is the most on Facebook groups, like trucking Facebook groups, is people asking. They'll ask like, "Well, how long does CBD stay in my system, and how long does pot stay in my system?" Okay, if you have to ask that, then maybe you shouldn't be a truck driver first of all, because like you said, most companies are going to the hair follicle test because it shows stuff up to 6 months in your system.
Yes.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And you cannot be up drinking until 2 a.m. in the morning and roll out in 6. You cannot do that because it's still in your system. You will get charged for that if they pull you over. And you cannot have any
Yep.
kind of alcohol whatsoever in your commercial motor vehicle. Whether it's
No.
open, closed, underneath the bunk, you cannot have any. Alcohol and drugs do
No.
not mix out here.
No.
We have other people's lives in our hands. It's not just our lives that we're risking. We're risking a family of 5 that's in a minivan next to us, or a grandma and grandpa that's on their way to church on a Sunday. We're risking other people's lives when we chose to do drugs or drink and then get behind this wheel. If you can't leave the alcohol and
Yeah,
drugs alone, then you do not belong out here. And I'm sorry for saying it that way, but you do not.
I agree. I agree. I mean, especially it bothers me, especially when I know like people go out and they drink and they have to drive in just a couple hours. It's like, if you were to get pulled over for any reason, and DOT officer or a police officer happens to suspect that you've been drinking and you've put other people's lives in jeopardy, you're supposed to be a professional driver. That's what we say when we get our CDL, that we're going to be a professional commercial driver's license. So being a professional commercial driver's license, we should know better to drink before we get ready to drive. You know,
And just because
we
you're
have a
prescribed,
policy that we don't drink 24 hours.
yeah. And just because you're prescribed a certain medication from your doctor does not mean that that's okay for you to take and drive on. You got to make sure your doctor knows that you're a CDL driver, that you drive a semi truck. You got to follow the DOT rules. And most of them know what that means. So you got to watch very carefully what you are being prescribed.
That is so true. I was prime example if you are on antidepressant medications or anything, or some arthritis medications, some anti-smoking medications. You always have to ask so whenever Larry and I ever get prescribed medications, we always have to ask, is this a DOT approved medication? Because there has been times when we've been prescribed stuff that was on the list and we had to be like, sorry, we can't take this. You have to be very, very careful because
Yeah.
it's just not worth losing your license.
And I know
A
it's not
prime
always
example
possible,
of,
but whenever I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Jess.
Whenever I do my doctor appointments when I'm on home time. So normally it's set up for like the first or second day I'm home. Normally I'm home for 4 days. So if the doctor prescribes me a new medication, I make sure that it's DOT approved. I can take it and be okay out here. But I like to start the medication on home time to see how I feel on it, to see whether I could drive or not. Like gabapentin hits me different than other people. Gabapentin is a nerve pill. I do have a back injury. I cannot take that and drive because of how it makes me feel. I actually don't take it at all anymore because of how it makes me feel.
Yep.
It makes me very sleepy, very tired. But I found that out because I started it while I was on home time. I got prescribed it on a Monday, wasn't leaving out until Thursday or Friday, but I knew how it affected me because I started it at home time. And gabapentin is something that we can take out here. But for me, myself personally, it makes me very tired. It makes me a little bit loopy. So therefore, I cannot take it and drive this truck.
Yeah. It's actually something I was prescribed for my arthritis, and that's something that my doctor specifically told me only take it at bedtime. She's like, if you get done driving at the end of a shift and your hands and your arms are killing you, she goes, take it at night because it does make you sleepy. But a prime example of that is my migraine medication. I'm
Hmm.
prescribed Imitrex, which I'm allowed to take. I cannot take that while I'm driving because it makes me lightheaded. It makes me dizzy. So I know that if I get a massive migraine, my only recourse is Excedrin migraine until I'm done driving for the day, and then I can take the because I know it affects me.
Yeah, I have emergency migraine
Yeah,
pills I
that's a
take.
really
They
good
start.
point.
I have emergency migraine pills, and I can only take them before I go to sleep. I cannot take them before I start a shift. So if I have a bad migraine, I cannot take
Mm-hmm.
them. But another thing is, winter is coming up. Fall's coming up. The weather changing. We go in and out of different weather by the day. We cannot have any kind of cough syrup in here with alcohol in it. We got to have alcohol-free cough syrup, alcohol-free mouthwash. You cannot even have mouthwash or cough syrup that has alcohol in it. That is a DOT violation.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know who did this comment because unfortunately it's coming up as Facebook user, but it's a good comment. It says, it is not the point of being an addict. I am not anymore. And if people can be diabetic and use needles on the truck, then please explain why people with depression can't take antidepressant meds. I am with you 1000%. It is very, very hard as a truck driver to be able to take antidepressant medication out here. Why? I don't know. It infuriates the hell out of me. We have done many, 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 many shows on this. There is a very small list of medications that we can take as truck drivers. To me, if you have depression or anxiety or things that need to be dealt with, If they're being dealt with a doctor, and you're going to see your doctor and maybe a psychiatrist, and they think that you need to be on medication, I think as a truck driver, you should be allowed to be on that medication, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And why they put a restriction on that, to me, is ridiculous. It infuriates me. It'd be different if, oh, hey, Jess, it was Jess Orton. And it infuriates the hell out of me, because so many truck drivers will not go and seek mental health because they know that they cannot get the medication because it's on the unapproved list with the FDA and or the Federal Motor Safety Carrier Administration. It infuriates the hell out of me, because the medication I should be taking, I can't take. So I have to be put on a different medication that only works somewhat. So I still have the anxiety. I still have the depression because I'm not on the medication that I should be on. And it infuriates the hell out of me. And that's why so many truckers do not go get help for mental health, because they're like, what's the point? I can't get on medication anyway.
Yeah.
And it makes me so freaking mad. And I think that's one of the reasons.
A lot of us have depression or anxiety, or we can't work with the public. And, this is what we could do. Like, I know due to my back injury and sometimes due to my attitude, I can't go work in customer service. I can't really per se work another job, like be a secretary or something, because sometimes I get in a bad mood and I have a bad attitude.
Yeah.
I can't stand for 8 to 10 hours a day due to my back, but I could sit here and I could drive this truck and I'm fine.
Right. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that the suicide rate is so high in the trucking industry, because of the rules of the Federal Motor Safety Carrier Administration and what medications we are allowed and not allowed to be on. So many truckers will not seek help for mental health because they know that it's pointless. There's hardly any medication that we can be on. And I think that something needs to be changed where that's concerned. It'd be different if we were talking about addictive medications, but we're talking about antidepressant medications that can help somebody live a healthier lifestyle out here mentally, which is so crucial and so important when we're out here alone, for so long away from our family and our friends. It's one of my biggest pet peeves with the trucking industry.
Yeah.
I know you and I talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
it
you
affects
do.
both of
Definitely.
us.
We talk about a lot of stuff.
We do. We talk about a lot of stuff. The biggest thing right now, our hottest topic of discussion, is how Jessica is going to get Larry off my truck so she can move in, because she wants to live in my truck.
Yes.
Okay, Jess said the issue with DOT is that they are not caught up with mental health issues and don't understand that we are not crazy or unable to do the job just because we have depression. What the F do they expect to happen to a driver who is away from everyone for so long? Exactly. I don't understand it. They sit here and say, well, why are the suicide rates so high in the trucking industry? Okay, let me explain to you the reasons why. We're away from our family. We're away from our friends. We miss important birthdays and Christmases and Thanksgiving. And half the time there's nobody to talk to because everybody works throughout the day. Or if you work at night, everybody's sleeping throughout the night. So, it's just like, seriously, there's so many reasons. And then you topple all that with, oh, you don't need to seek mental health. And 99.9% of the antidepressant and anti-anxiety medications are off limit to you. It's insane. Okay, this is to you, Jess. Jess Orton said, Larry, you can get on my truck, Jess, and you can have custody of Angie. So I guess we're fighting.
But someone's got to drive this beautiful truck that looks like the Wizard of Oz shoes. My paint job on this truck seriously looks like the Wizard of Oz shoes. It is amazing.
Oh, hers looks like red ruby slippers. It's got all the glitter in it.
Red,
it's so
and
pretty.
It has black and silver sparkle glitter in it. It is so pretty. I love this truck.
It is. It's very, very, very pretty.
Larry's got to drive this truck. Sorry, Jess. And he likes my table. So unless we have a table like I have, then, And a pudge. You got to have a pudge, too.
A Jess, a Larry, and a pudge. That'd be an interesting combo on a truck.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Larry.
I hear Larry. Larry knew we were talking about him. Love you, Larry.
Love you, Larry, she said.
Love ya.
Okay, Jess Orton said that there's going to be a custody issue. So you're going to go live with Jess. Jessica's going to come live with me, and we're dividing up the family.
What about Jeff's boyfriend? Is he okay? Is he on board?
Oh, well, yeah, Jess, what about your boyfriend?
Is he on board?
It'd be like, hell, you don't need a boyfriend. Oh, and he says he's got Phoebe, too, so we got to divide up the dogs, too. So Jess is bringing
we
Phoebe.
got a lot of dogs because I got 4 that me and Chris rotate in and out of the truck. I got Wiggles, Pudge, I got Ruckus, and Azula. You have your 3. You got Bandit, Nova. I forget the other one's name.
Bandit, Nova, and
one.
Gizmo. And then Jess has got Phoebe.
Yeah, we got a lot of dogs going on.
We get the little dogs, you guys get the big dogs?
Yeah, we'll get the little dogs and they get the big dogs.
I want Larry to sleep next to Ruckus and Azula just one night. Just one night.
Oh my God, that'd be funny.
I get an eighth of the bed, Larry.
So funny. And Jess said his boyfriend can deal with it. Oh my God. For those of you guys that don't know, Jess Orton is so funny. He's so funny. You guys got to see him. They have a show on Saturday afternoons, 2 p.m. Central. I was on it today. It's the LGBTQ plus Truck Drivers Network. If you haven't had a chance yet, go over there, see the Facebook group, join it, support them. They're friggin' awesome. Oh, no, Jess. Okay, Jess, this is for you. When I got done doing your show, right, I walked into my truck. And Larry was eating peanut butter. Jess will understand that.
I'm just cracking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he was naked. I didn't need to say that part. God dang it. I'm sorry. Yeah. So anyway, he was eating peanut butter. Jess will understand the joke. And I can't believe I just said that. I know. Oh my God. Shut up. Go away.
So I think a topic we also need to do one day is what happens if you find an abused animal out here, what you do for them, even if you cannot put them in the truck with you, who you need to call, and who you need to contact about them.
That's a great idea. Yeah, definitely.
Abused stray animal, because they're at risk at a truck stop or on the side of the road or whatever.
We see a lot of them at the truck stops, unfortunately.
I know I haven't promoted her a lot. I just got Ruckus' sister into my custody. The person who had her wasn't fully taking care of her properly. She had an ear infection for about a year. She's 90% deaf due to that ear infection. She's not bulky like Ruckus at all. She'll get there, but and she had a lot of lost fur from scratching, itching, allergies. So she was a little bit in rough shape. I got her all fixed up. It's been a week since she's been on the road. So 11 days since she got into our custody. And she is doing amazing. She still cannot hear. She's 90% deaf. I don't think that's going to change at all, but she definitely came around and changed a big time. She's in a lot better
Tell
health.
her what she did today when she was eating her food. She was eating her food, got halfway done, had to stop and give you kisses, and then go back to eating her food.
Every time she eats a meal, she stops halfway through and comes up and licks my face like, "Thank you for feeding me."
Okay, so this is from Jess. He says, I am funny, but I have a lot of true views on so many subjects. I am dedicated to awareness and education. And Jess, you know that you have an open seat here anytime on Trucker Safety Divas, because I would love to have you on here, because that's exactly right. Because even though you are funny, you are very passionate, and we're passionate about a lot of the same issues. So
Larry goes to go on the Trucker's View and check something out. I just got an alert on my phone for a moderator alert or something. So Larry, can you please go on the Trucker's View and look?
Uh-oh. Hey, Larry. Yeah. You go into the Trucker's View page, I guess you need to check that. I think somebody's posted something appropriate. So, okay. We're going to get ready to end the show anyway, guys, because Larry's going to get ready to, Larry's going to get ready to drive, and I still need to warm up some dinner from last night. We made pot roast last night, so we're having leftovers. So, and then, Jess, you're almost done driving, is that right?
Yeah, I'm almost done driving. And really
Good.
quick, one more thing I wanted to add about the drug and alcohol. If you get a DUI in your car, that does affect your CDL.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's our blood alcohol level is 0.04. So like for most states it's 0.08 if you're in your car or your personal vehicle. For us it's 0.04. So Larry and I have just kind of made it a rule that if we go out, one of us can drink, one of us can't, or we'll Uber so we both can have a drink. We just don't ever chance it. It's not worth it. That's why we use Uber so much. They've made a lot of money off us off the last couple years.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't forget to join us back here next Saturday night, guys, 7 p.m. Central. We're going to have Ruby on here. She's going to be talking about her 20-year career as a truck driver, being a single mom to 3 kids. She currently has one on the truck with her. And then she's also going to be talking about her weight loss journey. Jess is going to share her weight loss journey. I'll share mine. And so it should be a really interesting show. And then the week after that, we're going to have a DOT medical examiner on here. And then the week after that, we have Mona Beta scheduled. And she's going to be talking about Trucking Angels for Christ. So we got 3 great weeks coming up. And so it's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I missed, Jess?
I don't think so.
All right. All right, Jess.
Except for Larry's move-out date.
Jess and Larry's move-out. I'll see if I can get that for you tonight. I'll let you know.
Okay. I would appreciate it.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So Jess and I are both heading to Florida. Jess just got into Florida.
It's
so
been
just
clear so
keep her
far.
in your... Good. So hopefully we can get to our deliveries with no issues. And for the people in Florida, please know that our hearts are going out to you. The videos have been horrendous, and there's the destruction in Florida is just awful. So our hearts and prayers are definitely going out to you. For those of you guys that don't know, Jessica is a Florida resident. Luckily, she where she lives was in Jacksonville, so she was fine. But our hearts do go out to everybody in Florida. So, all right, bye. Thanks, Jess, so much, and we'll see everybody next week. Everybody have an awesome week. Be safe out there. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night. Remember, we are fabulous.